We push into turn 7 here. Nestor decides he's going to try to tough it out sick. Chances are he can only wave once more, or once, period, at this point. His situation looks really ugly, but if I don't get a wave in, I just don't see getting any advantage out of it. If I don't have the ability to do the actions as the party chief, I don't see an advantage in him. So everybody who's got points on Nestor, and essentially Green's the one with the big 10 sitting here. He can boost it anytime he likes, and has the control right now, is seeing this is my one last shot. Let's, blow Nestor's age up. If we go over 95, setting things up for ourselves, that's great. We'll still at least have more of a chance of having someone in party chief. Nestor's not going to make it through 4 more turns. That's pretty guaranteed. So now we're on the purge. And Vasily's available. He would like to purge someone, but most of the people across the board are in their strong spots. Industry, economy, sports. That reduces the chances. I could go after Ludmilla S. Might be worth it. Knock off something that other people have invested a little bit in. Let's see if I think that's a good idea. Yeah, what the hell. Alright, nobody can take Vasily away from me. Well, we'll see if he succeeds or not. He needs a 10 on Ludmilla, and nobody can really do anything about it. He succeeds. That gets him a year. And she's going to go off to Siberia, but Brown loses 3. This is S. Brown loses 3. I'll put that down to a 5. And Olive and Green each lose 1. I don't know what we're really doing, but we know we didn't have anything on her. And young as she is, she's still been canned. Do I want to knock one of these people out? Oleg is trying to take the cure. Seems like a good idea to take a shot at him, too. He's 70. I have +3 for him taking the cure here. I need 11. I do not get it. That puts me up to 71. Well, that's not so hot. I don't know if I charged. Yeah, I didn't charge people for these. He's actually at 72. And he's at 57. I didn't notice those question marks. Sometimes they're hard to see. Alright. That ends purges. We go to spy investigation. Olov's not available, but Vasilin is. Vasilin's Olive. I'm not going to be able to get rid of him with these two here. I'm not going to be able to get rid of either one, as far as I can see. Do I want to lay down any additional chits? Olive versus V. Yeah, she might be worth doing. Nicotine is R. I've got points on that. Do I want to go for Natasha yet? Nah, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm just going to pass on mine. And we go to the... Yeah, the Politburo is not well. Every single person is ill now. Some of them fairly heavily so. Oleg is dead. Some really bad rolls. Oleg is O. We had a big 11 in there. As we're beginning to lose more and more leaders. And that puts us in the position with the funeral commission. Well, Nestor's still alive, no problem. Replacements. Nestor has the ability to push people around in their positions. Green? I don't like either of these. Ideology, well, he's definitely not going to defense. We know that. And Vasselin, he's good at KGB. We know that's not a good place. Who's going to get boosted up? That's a good question. The foreign minister is the interesting position. That's the one I don't want to have. So I want to make sure somebody's there. So I think this is fine. With all the illness, I just don't know how good things are. So let's say I look to see what I've got coming to me, because I think Nestor's going to try to set things up for me. So Green says, I like Nestor. U and V. Well, there's Natasha. The way could be made open for her with a quick promotion. She likes the economy, doesn't like the KGB. The defense ministry sounds like a good place for her. That works. She is promoted to the defense. R and W. Oh. How does Olive feel about this? Olive feeling about Natasha. I don't like that, so I'm going to try to pump out of this up to 3. And then Green goes up to 4. You know, this is probably the end of Nestor. So what's next? Well, I got points on R with Nikitin. I got a decent amount on him. I like where he is. I could have shifted these around. What about Bungalov? I probably don't want him in sports. Bungalov is... I'm fine with him there. Am I not? No, I don't want him there. All right, but let's see who I want to promote, if anyone. Nitwick... No. Boris N. No. Ivan P. No. Boris Badenov. He's interesting. And Ulon Puchnik. Both of these are interesting. I got 2 more that I'm putting in. We're going to retire very shortly. But we want to put these 2 up. And one's KGB, doesn't like foreign. One's sport, doesn't like economy. We'll do them this way. No one can demote anyone. Now, what about my age? Because I've hit this retirement age. I think I can go 1 more. Yeah, at the end of the current phase. So I can keep pumping my age up. No, I can do 1 more action. I can bring somebody into play from the people. I won't be able to recover anyone. So, whom do we want to do? T, Q, M, L, K, J, I don't seem to have any of these, H, G, and E. I don't want to spend a point to help someone else, but I am tempted to spend a point to make people think that I'm helping myself. Nah, I'm not that clever. All right, and they probably wouldn't react well. So now we go to other people like Protsky here. And the question really is, how do I feel about, say, Lech and Karl going up? This is a black dude. He likes Lech, and he likes Karl. So he's very happy with what we see at the front end there. What about Vasily? That's going to be Olive, Lech, and Carl. He likes Carl. He's not thrilled with Lech, but you know, there's going to be a lot of promotions happening here. How does he feel about G? He likes G. Is he willing to spend one to push two of these up? Basically everyone except Lech? Is that what we're looking at? Olive? He likes E and G. That's going to be a tough sell, taking 2 years to upgrade those guys. I think I'm going to hold off on that. Who's in here is kind of important because I think we're going to lose a lot of people, but Victor is really potent. He's in a powerful position where he might be advancing, plus adding to his age when he's sick might be dangerous. What about Natasha? She's a V. Now the thing here is green and brown both have big roles for her. And this may not be the biggest thing to do. Let's see what we have. Neither one likes Lech. Neither one likes Carl. Brown likes Diwan. He's not interested. All right, now on to the lower level where we start getting interesting. Y. A lot of people have points in Y. All right, let's start going down the line. Black is interested. Brown is interested. Yellow is interested. Green, not so much. Green's the guy who pushed him up, so green's definitely interested, more willing than anyone else. So I'm going to make another roll for green. Yeah, green's interested. So basically everyone but blue is intrigued by this. Who gets first shot? Black is going to have the first option to think about this. Black likes the pair that's up there. We've already decided that. The next one is who? We're at 4 different people, I think. That doesn't help. 3 different people. Yellow. Yellow at Y. Okay. Yellow doesn't like either of the options that's going up. Is he going to push someone? He's already got control of nicotine. He'll hold on this. He doesn't want to reveal himself here. So that's black and yellow. 3, Olive. Olive has already passed with Vaseline, but he was interested in getting D1 in place. Getting both of these in place. Is Olive going to go for this? Yes. Olive's going to put a point on Ulan, and that starts the bidding. When I say, gee, I'm going to bring Carl Crackham heads up. Well, there are people who may not want to see that. Brown, for example. And yellow. And green. And blue. None of them are interested in that. In spending an age for this. Are they willing to spend an age to prevent that from happening? Okay, so what were we on? Brown, yellow, green, and blue. Yellow and blue are interested in stopping it. Yellow puts his point in first. Does he have a 2? He'd better. Yep. So he puts a 2 in there and comes up with his own idea, I guess, for something he'll put up because he's up there. And we're going to see this bid right up, I think. He says, okay, I go down to PQR. I'm way down here. Q. Q is the last thing I'm interested in. So I'm going to bid Tigran Zenjarplan. And you know, at this point, Olive is probably the most interested in bidding against. Now he's on Y. Olive doesn't have a bid on here. I don't know who the hell went up there. Who the fuck was... I was trying to put G into play. Yeah, let's say it's Brown that's in there instead. I don't know. Somebody sparked this off, and I don't know how. Alright. So does Brown want to keep pushing this up? Brown can go up to a 4. Yeah, you know, he's going to throw it all the way up to his 4 because that's his limit. And he's going to say, I'm putting G in there. And now yellow is still into this. 5 sounds pretty worthwhile. He'll go up. And this is actually the highest bid with a Y, with a on him. So now he's going to put Zinnia Plan again up, and nobody could compete with him. So that puts another year on his life. And now we go down to Yuri. And Yuri is R. Well, other people have points on Yuri. Do they want to expose themselves? Yellow's not declaring anyone up there. So now the question is, how do I feel about Lek if I'm someone else who has R? Olive, brown, and green. None of them really pushed before. We were looking at yellow and blue. We're interested in putting someone up. I'm going to say they're not willing to put anyone up on this because he's unwell. It might be better to kind of hide the fact that they've got points committed on him at this point. So then we go to Bungalov. Bungalov's black now. Black had an interest in getting Lek up, so he's not going to push his points. He likes Lek, he likes Carl, he wishes he could get rid of some of these. So now we go to X, which is Boris. There's 3 people, brown, yellow, and green, who have Boris in place. Does Brown have someone he wanted to put up? Yeah, they did, didn't they? They wanted to put G up. Is he willing to commit a point to this? Probably. He's put one before. Nope. He's holding off. Yellow and green don't want to. They want to keep sleepers in place, I think. Although there is some reason that people might want to start boosting their people because we're getting late in the game. If you don't boost somebody now, you may not get to. And they have low bids here. So I'm going to recheck because they've got low bids on those. Brown. Yes, brown is... let's see if yellow's interested too. Yeah, brown is going to go for this. He's going to put a 1 bid on Boris, and he's going to put his he's going to put Diwan up. And Diwan's actually fairly high on there, and that costs Boris a year. And you can see how this game, you know, would go really quickly if you were just playing it and not trying to do all your thinking aloud. Rehab. Ho, ho, ho. Now we got to go through the whole thing. Anybody want to rehab Ludmilla? And we look through the line and we see there are a couple of people interested in it. Olive and Brown are interested in that. Let's see where they sit. Vaseline, I don't want to waste him on that. Ulan could be used for Brown. He doesn't have any more votes. How about Yuri? We don't really want to use Yuri for this, do we? Well, maybe we do. Ludmilla's an S. Let's check both Olive and Brown for Yuri. Well, Brown's not going to go for it because he has Boris. Olive is willing to boost this up to a 2 on Yuri. Yuri's an R. Olive went up to 2. And he says, I'm putting Ludmilla, the S, up there. Now, it turns out that all the people with votes on Yuri like Ludmilla, so she's just been repatriated into the people. for 5 points. For poor Yuri. It was an expensive thing for him to do when he's so sick. But I don't think I have a lot of points. I have a decent amount. No one else can do anything. We go to the parade with 2 stars. I'm too old. I'm dying. Well, let's see if I actually die. I get to wave on a 14 or better. Nope, no waves. He's sick. And now Nestor is retiring, and essentially he's dead at the same time. There's going to be an election. Kind of throws things into more doubt, but still, some of these older folks are taking the cure, even though they're not terribly bad off. Natasha is in the first rank, and she's not, even though she's ill. Nikitin, though, is ill enough that he is. Bungalov not. He took the damage from the investigation in that. We go to a purge. There's no KGB, which means the ideology chief gets to purge. Now, Y is under yellow. Nobody can compete with that right now. What would he like to purge? He'd like to purge the upper echelon, but that may be tough, even though they're out of office. How's R for yellow? I only have the 1 point on R. Purging Nikitin, well, see, here's the problem. The foreign minister doesn't have a position, which means I'm going to get to pick someone from the first rank, though. As yellow, I don't see anything I like up there. And then that's going to go... What, 3 votes against is needed to... There's going to be 3 negative votes. Now, with a lot of people in the cure, 3 negative votes may be hard. So if I raise a black up there, there's 1 I can't vote against, 2, 3, assuming it all works. Olive, more likely to fail, so Vaseline will probably be raised up instead. I'd rather raise an older person, an old sick person, than someone like Natasha, but I don't really have anyone that I can approve on my own. And then if I do, well, Bungalov is W. I'm not getting any better on him. Boris is X. I might be able to grab him. Maybe. Alright. Well, let's see what we get here. Do I want to purge anyone? Nikitin isn't really causing any problems. Bungalov. I need the extra negative votes, so I can't really purge people. If I purge too many people, we're not going to be able to vote down things. So I'll hold on this. On to the spy investigation. Natasha. Natasha's a V. We're not there yet. Green has it. Green could do investigations, which could include purging the rest of the top layer. Essentially, well, I can get one of them. These are my only people under investigation. It'll take 2 innocent votes to protect someone. Well, let's get rid of Vasily. I think he's dangerous up there. And let's go for it. So this is V. Is Brown opposed to this? No, he's okay with it. All fine. Y. Black can't get enough votes to stop this. In the cure, Leonid. One vote against. Okay, to X Boris. No votes against. That means we just got rid of Vasily, but this is at no cost. That's kind of nice. So Vasily is U. And let's see. I've got the 10 plus for black. That goes away. And that opens it up for two other players. He's no longer at the cure. He's no longer under suspicion. But he's sick and been demoted. I can add some question marks to people if I so desire. This is Natasha. Well, Ulan is Y. Natasha is under green. Not going to have a lot of votes there. That's one. Brown might care. Brown doesn't care too much. Leonid, I could have convicted him instead, but I can't, or tried to. On to Boris. Do I care about Boris? I'm good with Boris, so I'm just going to take one aging factor to put our ideology chief under question. And that's good enough there. There's no one I think I want to remove it from. Now I do health diary. Now we're in the funeral stage. And here's where things get tricky. He's got to make the suggestion because there is no foreign minister. Now he can suggest the foreign minister, who incidentally, we've got poor Natasha getting sicker. I guess that's about it for interest. We got illnesses here, but this guy actually improved a little bit. Question here is, do we want to put the older guy in or the sicker person? Natasha. So the way this all pans out is I have to pick someone and if that fails, I can nominate anyone who voted no. And I'm not allowed to vote no. Looking at the board, it looks like Victor is the better choice to put up here. So I'm going to suggest Victor. Natasha is going to vote no. I can't. Wait, Natasha's V. This is Olive. No. Nicotine's not voting. How about Leonid? Well, Leonid's a W. He's already at the 10. But maybe not 10 plus. He can't go up to 10 plus though. So he'll vote no as well, I think. Gives him a chance for the position. And then we go to Boris, who Olive's not involved in, and nobody wants to put a vote in. Brown saying no. So Vassilin fails. And now I have to choose one of these others. It can be anyone. Unfortunately, whoever it is will pass. So, because I have to vote for the person, they have to vote for themselves, and there's only two other people alive. So I'll vote Natasha in, and she is elected party chief. I could have gone with her first, but then I would have been putting a younger person in charge. And now the party chief, who is still active, and this is the problem with her being here, gets to fill positions. Okay, Natasha's V. She's green. I've got lots and lots of votes on her. I'm going to try to drop the 11, but let's see if Brown can out. Nope. So I throw my 11 on her. And that means Brown's marker goes away. This is kind of a, hey, that's as good as it gets. You know, I'm premier. It's going up. Now I get to expand people. Who do I want to shift around and improve? So let me look at why. I have 3 on nicotine. He might be a good choice. Oh no, I'm sorry. Peshurtnik, I only have 3. That's not good. Nicotines are... It looks like I have 5. That's not a bad choice. Bungalov's W. I got a 6 on Bungalov. That's not going to do me any good. Badanov's X. I have a 2. This is going to automatically go up into... He's fine on anything. We don't want him in KGB. I am going to put Badenov up on the KGB. And that cost me 1. Do I want to rearrange here? Nicotine's going up. So then the question is, this guy sucks at foreign. He's not going to be there. Leonid sucks at industry. So if I can shift him into that, I don't really want him in a good position. I could promote somebody from below, though, to one of these positions. So let's look at some more letters. Green, D, G, N. Yeah, this is in Q. I'm not really interested in any of them. The one thing I don't like is this guy being here. So actually I'm going to move Bungalov into here. Even though he's bad at his one job. And I'll move Ulan over here. Alright, that'll work. Now, it's automatic promotions. Nikitin is promoted up to defense. And now Badenov gets an option to upgrade people. Now, someone may be interested here. Badenov is X. We got brown, yellow. Green doesn't really want to, so they're probably not going to play their 2 here. Which is a shame given the values, but I just don't see them doing it. So let's see who gets first choice, brown or yellow. Brown's going to get the first option here. Now, he could promote people from here. Brown, D, G. I like G. But G's going to go up anyway into a position. It'll be sports. That's the one he likes. P and Q. No, N, P, and Q. N I like. And P and Q. So, I'm going to say I'm going to pass on it. And I'm going to let the next person who's on here yellow. Think about this. Yellow looks at the same letters. D, oh, I like that. G, I do not like. N, I do not like. P, I like. Yellow might put P up. And Q. So P and Q are interesting to me, and I'm fine with Nitwitko getting up there. So I think Boris's X is going to get the 2. And the game is actually fun when you're not doing it solo. And I'm going to try to put someone up. I don't remember who anymore. All right, let's look. Yellow, D. I don't want G. I want P or Q. I got more on P. My choices are economy and foreign. Nitwetko is fine. I'm going to put Manchek up to economic. And that brings that into play. All right. And we have no other first level. So Nitwetko moves up on his own to sports. And now Bungalov, who's black, can pick the next character. Lech, I'm happy with Lech going up. I'm happy with Kraken heads. I'm fine. I'm not going to spend any age on this. The next one is Y, and right now it's in Yellow's hands. Yellow's pretty much got it. Is Yellow interested in people? Yellow, I don't have any B. I don't have any E. Is there anything young I can move up? Yellow doesn't like T. Doesn't like S. M. L. K. J and H. I'm not terribly interested in any of these, to tell you the truth. The next one's Manjack here, who's P, and black, yellow, and blue are interested. Well, blue is the only person who's not already kind of passed. Blue's interested in Lech. He doesn't like Carl, though. Let's look at his other letters. T, S, M. I'm interested in L, Igor Doberman. Let's put L up, if we can. So in order to do this, I pop a quick 1 on Manjack. Manjack's P. And now I'm declaring I'm putting Igor up. Well, black and yellow may not like Igor going up. None of them have points on him. Are they willing to step in the way to prevent this? Yeah, yellow's willing to. We're getting late in the game, and we kind of don't want to control things like that. So yellow will go up to 2. And now blue's denied Manjack, so Igor doesn't go up. It's just a refusal to use that. And finally we go to D, Nitwetko. Yellow and black, neither one wanted to raise anyone, so they're good too. So Lech and Crackham heads end up at the top of the pile. Rehabilitation. All right, there may be people who are interested in Vasily. He had a 10. Olive is interested in Vasily. And so is Green. That's an expensive pick. Does Olive have anyone kind of below in the ranks that he thinks he could get? Let's see. Olive at D, no. Olive at P is no. No one's at... Oh, lots of people are at P. What the hell? I didn't know Manjack was that popular. Olive at Y, no. Olive at W, no. So the question is, do I want to commit My big dude. What about nicotine? They're both taking the cure. They can't do it. Okay, so Olive's not interested in this. So who's the next one? Green might be interested. Well, what about Boris? Does anybody have Boris? Nobody can go up on Boris. Boris is controlled by yellow, and no one can guarantee they're going to get him. Bungalow, he's around. No, nobody wants that. How about Y? That's yellow. Manjack is P. Yellow's got that nailed down. And Nitweko is black and yellow. Yellow's got it currently. Black's not interested in rehabilitating. So Vasily stays there. And now we have a wave chance. But she's double ill. So she goes up to a 60. This is exciting. And needs a roll of a 14 or higher. 17. We finally get a wave. Now, if I can get 3 waves in a row, it's a win. But other than that, it goes to whoever holds the party chief. So keeping her alive is probably more important than keeping her waving. She's young enough and in position that I think I can keep her through those. Okay. So on the cure phase, Green has decided not to go for the victory. Basically. He's got Natasha taking the cure. Now she's very sick. There's a chance he could have her on turn 11 as the party chief, though, if she survives. And likewise, Victor, Yuri, both going to take the cure. Leonid is staying out because he's under suspicion. He could be investigated and disappear because that goes... Let's see, over to the KGB head after the foreign minister and the defense minister, who are both in the cure. So there's kind of a, okay, X is not held by black. So he kind of needs to protect himself, and he's young enough that maybe he can survive with one illness. Or he probably will. We saw Natasha not able to make it through, and she's not much older, though. All right, now we're on the purge. And the KGB head has the first shot at purging. Now, that's X. Yellow has that, and nobody else does. And yellow doesn't have, or nobody can surpass it. Yellow doesn't have, except with a tiebreaker vote, Yellow doesn't have a lot of age there, and doesn't have a lot of, well, Yellow doesn't have a lot of points on the KGB head. So this is someone you kind of think, well, let's try burning something. Maybe somebody will, bid up their points, but otherwise we'll get away with something that we bought for cheap. Oh, I forgot to look to see if anybody's got... He's healthy. Nobody's got any problems or advantages there. All right. So W. I've got a decent amount of points on W, but they've been superseded. And Y. I've got a lot of points on Y. I'm not really interested in knocking him out. What about some of these others? P. I've got points on P. D. I got a lot of points on D. I feel pretty good with the upper level. What I'm looking at is I can open an investigation into Bungalow, or I can purge him straight up. Let's say instead I use my purges against people I can't touch easily, like Victor. I'm going to purge Victor. I need an 11, but that's still a pretty good chance. I get it. That gets me 1 age point. And Victor loses his olive points. Victor is Z. Now I've just handed Victor over to blue, but there isn't a lot of time to recover somebody. He was sort of the star of the early playing characters, the very young star there, who could have, who everybody thought would rise to the party chief. Well, it didn't happen. So now I could keep purging. I think it's worth taking a shot at Bungalow too. He's only a 10 or better. Oh, how do I feel about Nicotine? I've only got 1 point on Nicotine. Other people have a lot. I'm going to go for Nicotine instead because I don't have him under question. I don't think he's going to come under. So I need an 11 again. And we get him too. Purge, purge, purge. All right, and now we take 1 off green from R. 1 off yellow from R. And 2 off olive from R. Oh, Jesus. That's not R. 1 off green. I don't know. I may have taken this already. What the hell? S went already. 1 off green. 1 off yellow. 2 off olive is what I said. Not that he's going to come back. But the other one is back already. And he goes here to Siberia too. All right. Let's keep going. Let's hit Bungalow. We may have trouble. Maybe he can clear his name or something. We might as well do it this way. Take multiple shots. So I need a 10 to get rid of Bungalow. I get him. That's another year. I may go right for Natasha next. Just clear the whole party. He is no longer under suspicion. W. Loses 8 yellow, 10 black, and 3 off blue. Massive set of purges going on. And I actually don't need these counters here. They were there because of the cards. So that I had a place to remember who has what cards. That's not really an issue right now. Okay. Let's go for the top of the line then. She's 15, eh? If we can get rid of everybody, we've got good numbers across the board at the top. No such luck. And now I'm 61 years old after that. Well, Boris worked real hard. Maybe she'll die. Investigations. Boris can put her under an investigation. We'll do that. That makes her life a little more troublesome. And yes, it seems a little strange, but putting the party chief under investigation is perfectly legitimate. I could start condemning people. That's not going to help me much here. The alternate winning conditions is by holding the highest active politician. So if I could actually wipe out the entire party, Boris would be the highest active person. Well, let's look. Yellow doesn't have B, doesn't have E. doesn't have G. I could just condemn one of these. But you know, there's a lot of people left. I think I'll hold on that. And now we go to the health die rolls. Well, Natasha did okay and started to recover, but Iwan and Peter both got double illness out of nowhere. And, well, in reaction to their great advantages, I've got a problem here. Which is Peter is going into the worst job for him, the foreign ministry, and Iwan goes up to the defense ministry. And at this point, I probably should have removed this. Never seeing them, you know, I'm going to spend for that to remove that question mark on Ulan. He stays where he is because the party chief can't rearrange things, but Boris has the first option to bring people up. And we're looking at B, E, G, N, and Q. These are all yellow. B, E, G, N, and Q. I would like to see this fellow, Tigran, show up somewhere. Do I want to use Boris, who's burned through a lot of points? Well, he's not very sick. So I'm going to keep using Boris, and I don't have a lot of points on him. And I'm going to bring Tigran up, and, well, we'll make him the ideology chief. That's a good position that a lot of things fall to. Peter is D, and Black may want to use him. You may find he doesn't own him, but he's looking at B, E, G, and N. B, E, they're going to promote anyway. G, unless somebody else does something. So Black's not going to challenge, and Yellow's not interested in putting more up. Manjack is P. No one can up him. Oh, geez. Who did Boris purge? See, the question is, I've got a yellow. Green could have stopped something. We had purges. I'm not going to go back. But we had purges on Yuri and Bungalov that Green could have stopped. But Green kind of wants those because he has points in these guys that weren't going to win them. I think. I don't know. So anyway, we'll have Lech and Karl come up here. And now we go to the, hey, 3 more people are going to come up from here. Well, Tigran's our first choice, Q. Yellow's already more or less declared Tigran, so putting a point on him wouldn't hurt much at all. Of course, we also have points on Ulan here, who's younger. So I think we'll hold for Ulan, who is Y. We have all our points on him. That's not going to get beaten. So now we look at Yellow. Does Yellow like H, J, K, L, M? Looks like Yellow's blown most of his points. S, and finally T. Yellow cares for no one here. So we go to B, Lech, and Black and Blue are interested here. And we'll see what they raise. I'll come back later. I don't want to use up too much video on this. And Blue put a point on Lech and brought Igor up. We didn't get... Black didn't want to over-trump him. Basically, revealing what you have where might be problematic. So now we go to Rehab. It's late in the game. Rehab is an expensive task. But again, I'll have to look through all of these, and you see how much fun that is comparing them to this. This game sucks solo. It really does. It's just miserable. And I really wish I hadn't done it, because doing it on camera is even worse than normally. A key fights over control of Lech and Karl, both old guys to begin with, for the rehabilitation. Lech was used, I believe, to rehabilitate Bungalov. And Karl was used for both Nikitin and Protsky. And now we go to the parade phase, and there is no parade, of course, because she's taking the cure. We go up to another turn. I'm going to load this one up.